if you've ever ran claims before, you notice that there's a lot of organization that's needed to make sure that you are staying on top of your game, really. Staying on top of handling claims and knowing where they're at, knowing where to go, knowing what you're doing to try and get these things closed. So that's why I built this app. What a lot of adjusters have used, or that I've talked to, have used like some type of an Excel spreadsheet to kind of keep track of their claims, or they use just any type of, they even use like a notepad in their card. They jot down the claim, they jot down who they called, where they're at, maybe, and so on. This makes a digital version of all that, really. So what the claim does, or what this app does, is plots all your claims that you receive and color codes them by status or by your calendar here. So to help you manage your claims. And this is, here's all my received claims. You know, here's all my called, and there's no voicemail or something like that. You know, maybe a wrong number. And the difference between this and, let's say, Exact Analysis or any other claims management system is this is more specific to your needs and your own details that you need for your claim. You know, Exact Analysis will, everything you post in there is meant for everybody to see, your claim manager and the desk adjuster. But this is more like, hey, you know, I left a message with this guy. I need to make sure I call him back or whatnot. The only way to get to that with Exact Analysis is to go through the notes, read your old note that you put in there saying, oh yeah, I left a message with that guy. So this is more, like I said, a personal claims management system that plots your claims.
The Exact Analysis and the file track, et cetera, it's great for documenting a claim, which is required for us to do, but this is your personal organization and staying on top of your tasks.
Yeah, exactly. And the information that we need right away is we need to know, okay, here's all my claims that I have. First thing I need to know, if I click on here, I need to know where this person's at. And you can see here, the map will center and the marker will turn blue as I kind of scroll through my apps here, or scroll through my claims. And I got one way out east here. I got, oh man, I've got a big group right here, let's say. I got one kind of down the southwest here. Okay, so what I want to do here is, let me go ahead and open this claim up. If you just click right down in here, I get a Google Street View that automatically pops in there. I can see here, I can change my status. Okay, I routed this claim. This is where I want it to be. I called this person, left a message. Here's some of the details I can enter in. And here's the carrier that it's with. Here's the IA firm. This is a new claim. This is a water loss. It's real easy to click through and set up. And the great thing about it is, let me find a different claim here. Yeah, let me find one here. Hold on, sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, what this does is this pulls in, like I said, your email that you received from Exact Analysis. So the email notification that you received from Exact saying you got a new claim, and all of a sudden your inbox fills up with 50 new claims, this will automatically pull those all in because you set that up to forward it to it. And so here's that body email that you received. It looks something similar to this. This is just a test one. But assignment profile, here's the, the claim number, the insured name, just like it would look in your email. This populates it in there for you. It's right there. And then and it automatically populates in the address, lost location. So that way you could plot it on the map here. So when you all of a sudden now have, right in this case, you have 10 received claims here, and okay, man, I want to get these things scheduled. What you could do is you can see right here, here's my home address, and I'm going to set this up. I'm going to handle this claim here right away. So I'm going to click on this guy right here, and I'm going to click on my home. And you can see right here, from Chill to home, it's 11 miles. It's a 20-minute drive. All right, so I'm going to leave my house at 8, so I can set this up maybe at 8:20, 8:30. I'm going to click on this guy. I'm going to set up on my inspection. I'm going to set this up for the 12th, let's say 9 a.m. And so then when I call the insured, I can confirm it. Yeah, the insured's going to be there. Contractor's going to be there as well. I got 3 buildings to look at, a couple sheds, whatnot. And so when you roll up to this claim, now the marker turned green right here. I know now what awaits me when I get there. Like I said, I have a nice street view. I know what's there. I can look at here and say, oh yeah, I got 3 buildings to look at. If I want to add a comment here, insured said to go in the backyard. Something like that. If you want the some kind of personal note to keep you on task. Gate code is whatever you want to add in there. So kind of keep track of what you're doing, where you're going, who's going to be there, and any pertinent details that you want to stay on top of.
Gate code is 9110 pound or 0911 pound, if you don't know that.
Yeah, for this one, so you know.
Probably shouldn't be telling people that. But.
Yeah, for Mr. Chill here. Mr. Chill, that's his gate code. All right, so we got him, and now he populates down here in my calendar. Here's your calendar right here on this side. And it syncs up with your Google Calendar, so and I'll show you that here in a second. So I'm in, so here's Mr. Chill. Let's give me the route for the day. Here's my route for the day. Here's inspection number 1, number 2, 3, and 4. All right there for this day. And you can see, oh, look at this one. Look at this red dot right here. I'm driving right by that insured after inspection 1. So, man, I need to set this. I need to go ahead and schedule that person. You can just click on right there, Garrett number 2, and go ahead and click on the inspection, set him up for that time. And like I said, so this is a calendar app, a map app, and a good way to just stay organized. Staying organized with all your files, all your assignments is a very, very, it's hard actually when you have 50 open claims, but this will make it 10 times easier no matter how many claims you have. A whole lot more efficient than a notepad or a spreadsheet. And just a great feature is pulling in all these street views. Oh man, you know what? I'm gonna need to make sure I bring my tall ladder right here or whatnot. Excuse me. Or when I clicked on this route for the day, you can see here I need to leave by 7:13 a.m. and my first claim is about an hour, 41-minute drive away. And this is all based off of Google's mapping and street views. So you can.
If you're new and you kind of don't already know some of this stuff, being efficient with your mapping and scheduling will really save you a lot of heartache on a catastrophe. Because now personally, I don't know anybody that does it any other way. I'm not saying this is the right way, but personally, I look for the farthest out. I want to start far away from where I'm based and inspect that loss that's furthest away first, and then work my way back to where I'm stationed. And a lot of this is based upon the availability of the insured, so some of that's going to change. And I'm going to do some inspections on my way out to someplace, because that's when the insured can meet me. And I try to stay flexible within reason, the insureds. But, sometimes you just have to explain to the insured that this is their property loss and they have to make it a priority, because a lot of people will want to schedule. In fact, it's not uncommon to have everybody want to schedule you, especially as the storm progresses. So this is like second, third week. Everybody wants to meet you at 6 o'clock after work. Everybody wants to meet you on Saturday morning. And you just, sometimes you do have to just tell people, look, you have to make this a priority. And so these are the times I have available. I try to give them 2 times, a morning and an afternoon on 2 separate days, and just say, pick one, because that's what I have. And you do kind of have to be polite but firm with people on that point. But yeah, you're scheduling. So now how we get our claims into the app is we're going to export them from Exact Analysis or File Track or wherever or email, or however we're receiving our assignments, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and this is all done automatically. So there's no, straight up double data entry. There's very little actually. So when you create an account, you're going to, this is a demo account, by the way. So when you create an account, you're going to get an email address that looks something similar to this. And then what you can do is forward that, set up an automatic forward, either straight from Exact Analysis by going into the notification panel and then adding up a contact method, which a lot of adjusters could do, or you could set up a forward from your Gmail account or your Outlook account or whatever email account you use. So it's real simple. I've actually got a lot of help documents right here on forwarding your assignments into Scope. So if you click on here, you're going to, like I said, you're going to have this type of email address once you log in. And here's how to set up an automatic forward. So what this does is any claim that's received or any email that's received from Exact Analysis that has the word assignment in it, it's going to automatically forward it to your Scope.claims email address. And once it does that, it'll populate the body of the email right there where I showed you. It'll populate that body of the email in there. Down in here, it'll look more spread out like this. And it'll populate in that lost location address for you. So it's all automatically done. Like I said, there's no, I hate double data entry just as much as the next person.
Yeah, that's great. That really is great. I love the forwarding feature. Aspect of that.
If you want to do it straight from Exact Analysis, which you can do as well. So you can set up another contact method in Exact, which will add like a second email address basically. And so any email that you would typically receive from Exact would automatically be forwarded in. So you can set it straight from there and don't have to go through your Gmail account or Outlook account or whatever.
Very nice.
So yeah, definitely wait. And you can also add claims manually. I handle a lot of re-inspections or appraisals that don't run through Exact. Or there's some carriers that don't use Exact Analysis. And let's say you just get an email that's saying, hey, please handle this claim. Here's the details. You can just forward that from, like I said, from your account, and it'll just populate that right into the app here. Or you click this plus button, and you can add a claim manually, Mr. Insured, set up the loss location, add some details. This is AIG, this is so-and-so, this is a new claim. Well, let's reinspect water. Let's go ahead and save that. And you can see that it populates it right on in there.
Nice. And how do we access this app? What is the link for that?
It's Scope.claims.
Okay.
Scope.claims. That's it. You can click on click on sign up, let me, when you click on sign up here, it'll take you to this very brief registration, and you can go ahead and log in right there. One important note here is your home address, basically your start and stop point for the day. So whether this is your actual home or this is your deployed address, obviously it's very important to keep that updated. And you would change that here in your settings under bookings right there. Change your home address right there. To add different carriers or different clients that you work with, you can add a carrier right there. Carrier so-or-so, or add different IA firms. And then right here, third party here, this is where you link up to your Google Calendar. That way, anytime you set up a date of inspection, it'll show up there on your calendar as well. And also, bring in your calendar appointments as well. That way, in case you need to work around your dentist appointment for the day, you can do that as well and know that it's on your schedule. Let me show you another view. If you click right here, this is your claims view. This is a different map view, claims view. This kind of just shows you all your claims in a different fashion, different look. So you can see, like I said, this Google Street View is a very important feature to really recognize the claim. That always helps me. As soon as I see the front photo, I was like, oh yeah, I remember that claim now. Mm-hmm. And so this is a good way to see all your claims. You can filter these. Let me click here real quick. You can filter these by, like I said, these are all your open claims. I want open and the AIG claims. I want my status here. Here's all my received claims. Here with the status of received, all my left messages, and so on. You could search, quickly search for any claim. This is always a great handy tool. If the insured calls you back to schedule the appointment, and he's insured, who was this? Oh, here he is right here. Jumps right to him, brings up his street view. I can go ahead and set the inspection. So it's a quick, handy way, and like I said, it's 100% free. So you're getting all the benefits of what we would typically use in all the Google products, like a Google Map, a calendar, street views, routing, and distant measuring. You get all those features all in one app, one location, and then be able to manage all your claims. Let me show you this right here. This is our guidelines. I think this is a very important, especially for new adjusters when you're starting out, is guideline management. And what this does is helps you kind of keep track of what carrier wants what and what IA firm wants what, and kind of just keeps you on task and keeping your files updated. And most adjusters that I know will use some type of notepad and to jot down, you know what, make sure this carrier wants a photo of the drip edge that's on the rake. You know, they specifically want that. That's, docked on your quality review. If you don't have a photo of drip edge on rake or the lack thereof. So you can add different guidelines and different policy information and different ways to quickly filter and find the info you need. Let's create a new guideline. Say policy such and such, XYZ, no coverage for fence, let's say. So let's give this a fence coverage. Okay, this is for AIG, Mid-America here, category. Let's give this policy coverage and save this here. So now, you know what? I go to my claim here. Did fence have coverage? I can just quickly type that in and see here. Hey man, make sure policy so-and-so has that. No, I really, really like these type of things, and I wish all the IA firms and carriers would update their guidelines to be more quickly accessible. Because most of the time, what they'll do is they'll send you out 10 PDF documents and saying, "Hey,
Mhm.
read all this and follow these guidelines."
Here's the library at Alexandria. Make sure you read it before you start adjusting claims. So,
Yes, yes,
yeah.
exactly. Or we have a 2-hour webinar. We're going to cover every type of claim you're going to handle from A to Z, and
And you're gonna be on the road traveling when the webinar's going on, but make
yeah,
sure you're there.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it's so annoying and frustrating. I don't know why they do that, and but anyways, for your own personal sanity, create a good system to manage all your guidelines. Create some notes here to help you stay on track, and more importantly, being able to find it in an instant. You click on that policy number, okay, 234. Oh yeah, I remember
Yep.
now. He's got no fence coverage. That
Yeah.
will straight away reduce kickbacks, in case you do estimate for it, and reduce phone calls to your claim rep or to your manager. It just would make you a better adjuster, the better notes that you have. And that's what this guideline feature does. And you can filter it by carrier and whatnot, or just do a quick search.
Yeah. And I don't like to be negative because, honest to goodness, this is like the easiest career that pays the most money that I've ever found. And
Yeah.
my resume, and believe me, I spent some time looking for something that I had an aptitude for and that paid well. And my resume was kind of a moonscape before I found adjusting about 10, 11 years ago. And the pay, unfortunately, is not what it was. It's probably not ever going to be what it was. It is kind of steadily going down as technology kind of replaces. I mean, let me put it to you this way: the guy that trained me actually took Polaroid photos, or he had to go to the photomat and have rolls of film developed and had to paste them, like literally with paste, onto
Yeah.
cardstock, hand label it, and mail it to the carrier. This is how we started. Now it's
Yep.
getting easier, but by the same token, they're not paying us as much. The barriers to entry are decreasing. They're even having contractors, take photos. Insureds take their own photos, like for auto adjusters. You've got insureds out there taking photos of their own car at the scene of the accident, and, using an app to send that in. But the upside is that as we become more efficient, we do still retain some control over what we earn. So let's say you went from an average of, $700 a claim to 600 or 500 in a cat, but you're doing 2 extra claims a day. This is why this efficiency stuff is so important, because in the end, it makes a huge difference. And even if it just improves your quality of life, I mean, how many people want to work from 6 in the morning until they fall over sometime around 2:30 in the morning, and then get up and do it all over again every day? Getting your claims adjusting into a 8 to 12 hour window instead of a 16-hour day, huge difference just in quality of life that makes it worth it. So
Yeah, exactly.
that's why we think about these things at AvidCat. That's why it's important. And for those of you that work cats, you understand this intuitively. But for those of you that haven't, in carpentry they say, what is it? Measure twice, cut once. Well, in adjusting, it's the same thing. You want to take the time up front to put these organizational tools to use, even if it takes a little bit more time to get out the door, or a little bit more time to make a phone call, or you have to stop and include a little bit more detail in your scheduling, and you take a little bit more time to get organized. Organization saves you in the long run. You will make money because you're better organized. and it pays dividends. So if some of this is going over your head because you're new, or you are that, that adjuster that only has a handful of daily claims a week that you're dealing with right now, but you want to go CAT, and you want to get these better opportunities to make more in less time, these organizational tools become very important. So
yeah. I mean, my motto is always organization and efficiency. It's just my wife makes fun of me for it because I'm so anal about it, and I'm looking for the quickest route to get something accomplished, but just as important, not compromising quality or just overall well-being. So it's got to be easy, it's got to be quick, and it's still got to produce a high-quality product.
A good work product, absolutely. Yep. Because that makes a difference too. I mean, these carriers, they will put up with a lot during a storm, but they will also remember you. And the way that they remember you is metrics. So they see how long it took you to contact an insured, to schedule an inspection, to complete the inspection. Then they know from the time the inspection was completed to the time you turn in the report. They, trust me, if you're not tracking all these numbers, they are. And when the storm calms down, or you get toward the tail end, and it's going to be, okay, well, who's going to stay and who's going to get cut and go home? That's where these metrics, really make a difference.
Yeah, exactly. And it just increase your bottom line the faster and better that you are. One thing I want to show you just real quick, you can add Scope.claims to your mobile device.
Very nice.
Yeah, when you're out on the road. This is a progressive web app, which, if you know what that is or not, it doesn't matter. But you don't have to download it from the stores. So what you would do is when you visit the app from your mobile device, usually it'll give you this notification right here saying add Scope.claims to your home screen. Just go ahead and click add. If it doesn't ask you that, you can click on those three little dots and say open Scope.claims. And then what that will do is give you an app looking. It'll function and look just like a native app, and will work just like a native app. So nothing to download, just got to visit it from your browser on your mobile device. And then it will function, the map will function just like Google Maps does on your cell phone.
Very nice.
So yeah. I mean, that's the app here that I've created. Like I said, it's 100% free. Just jump in and use it. There's a lot more features. This is actually phase 1 of this app. There's many more features that I'm adding in the days ahead that are going to be pretty amazing and will really help us out in the field. So yeah, definitely check it out. It's worth looking into, especially since you're using all these methods of trying to find the insured and route them and schedule them and have it get on your calendar and whatnot. You're using all those methods anyway.
Right.
Might as well use an app that is specifically designed for adjusters.